Hi everyone, my name is Angela from Angela Stitches and welcome to another video. And in this video I'm going to show you some of my WIPs. I was planning on showing you all of my WIPs, but except the ones up here on this dresser, the other ones are kind of all over the place in different shelves and boxes, and some are even in my desk drawers, I think. So I'll do a part 2 of this video showing you all of those later. So these, I think most of them are Mirabilias. Most of them started this year during Mania. I started 10 or 12 of them, so I think I have all of those here, and also some that are not mirrors, which I'm not exactly sure what I have here, so it'll be a surprise for me too. And I'll try to show you all of the charts for these if I could find them. If not, I'll add pictures on the screen and give you as much detail about the fabrics and the designers. So these are all from my dresser here, and I have this box. And this is where I keep all of my Mira charts and the floss cards, or I try to, because I kit up all of my projects in plastic bags with the working copy, floss cards, and things like that for these. Except this is a new start that I'm planning on starting this month. I just didn't get to it yet, but this is Enchanted Mermaid, and I also hand dyed this fabric. If you want to see how I did this, I'll link a video here in the corner and also in the description box below, but yeah, I'm going to start this before September. Okay, so I'm just going to move this over a bit and start showing you all of my WIPs. So this is the Kiss by Mirabilia, and it's a stitch along with the viewer Michelle, and I think I worked on this for at least 2 weeks, and I also hand dyed the fabric. Sorry, I was looking for the chart but I can't find it, so I'll add a picture here instead. But yeah, like I was saying, I hand dye the fabric, and for hand dyes I always use 40 counts Newcastle linen, because that's my favorite fabric at the moment for fabric dyeing for Mirabilias. So yeah, this was the Kiss. This is Rose of Sharon, also hand dyed with tea and coffee. So I actually found the Kiss, so this is what the Kiss looks like. So Rose of Sharon, so I got this because I thought it would be a nice companion piece to Fairy Idol. Sorry about all of the noise today. I don't know what's going on, but there's planes overhead and like construction going on, so it's really loud. But I can't really do anything about it, so I'm really sorry about all of the noise. But yeah, so I thought this would be a really nice companion piece to Fairy Idol, which was my first Mira finish. Maybe I'll show you all of my Mira finishes at the end of this video. I only have 3 finishes so far, and Fairy Idol was my first Mira purchase and start and finish, and I thought this would look really good together as a pair, but it took me almost 2 years to start this one. But yeah, I really like this one. Stitching it so far, it's really fun too. So yeah, Rose of Sharon. So this I'm going to work on this month. This is Princess Titania, and I really want to make more progress on this and get to her face because I think she looks super pretty. I think this has one of the most prettiest faces out of all of the Mirabilias. So this month I'm planning on getting to her face and do the back stitching and everything. And this is also hand dyed 40 count. And this is the Dreamer, and I really like the color palette of this one, but because it's so big and large that it takes forever to get even a little bit of progress on it. And also maybe because it's a 40 count, I'm stitching 1/2, so even though I spend a lot of time on it, it really doesn't look like any progress. But it is one of my favorites, and this is a color and cotton fabric, but I forget the name though. I have my bag here for the Dreamer, and it is Caraway by Color and Cotton, and these bags are really useful. I really like using them. I reuse them, and I also see everything inside. So yeah, so I think this was my 4th WIP. If you're counting, let me know in the comments because I never counted my WIPs before, so it would be nice to know how many I have here. So this is Garden Prelude. Yeah, I want to get back to this one too because all I need to do is work on the dress, which is massive. So here's the chart. So this is what it looks like, and I'm not going to do the flowers in the background and also like the architecture. So instead, when I hand dyed the fabric, I added blue and pink instead across the fabric, and I wanted to do yellows and purples to make it look like the flowers in the chart, but I didn't have any yellow dye, so I decided to use pink and blue. And this was inspired by Heroic by Picture This Plus because I had used that fabric before for my Fairy Idol and I really liked it. So yeah, when I come back to this, I'll be just working on the dress, so all of this, and I think that's going to be so much fun. So this next one, this is Queen of Peace. I was really excited about this one, but then I quickly realized that the blue I thought it was not exactly blue. So it was actually gray, and gray is really not one of my favorite colors to stitch, so that was a little difficult to work with. And someone said that I could actually do a conversion to blue, but I already started a big chunk of it, and also because I wasn't really comfortable doing a conversion on Mirabilias yet, so yeah, but I think once I get to these greens and like the flowers, I think it'll be super fun. And this is actually one of my favorite fabrics that I hand dyed. I might even included the dyeing process in one of my stitching vlogs during Mania, but I think it looks really pretty with this fairy. So this is Midsummer Night's Fairy. So this with Midsummer Night's Fairy, to me they look really similar, and I think they have the prettiest faces. So if I ever frame these, it would be a nice pair, I think, like night and day. So I don't think I'll work on this anytime soon, but I want to get my Titania up to this point and get her face done and her arms. But yeah, I really like this fabric. I think it would be a really nice fabric for a dark Halloween project. And then this is April's Blue Diamond. This I was actually experimenting with the fabric dyeing techniques, and I created this swirl because I thought, what is this? I thought it would look nice with the design because she's kind of already swished her arms, and you see kind of like that pattern behind her, so, or with the beads I mean, so yeah, I thought that would look nice with the swirl patterns on the fabric. So yeah, I'm also planning on recreating this fabric, but I'm going to use a 18 count Aida, but do everything exactly the same and show you how I made this fabric. And I need to get more floss to stitch this because all of this gray in the picture is actually all Krennic, and there's a lot of that, and I didn't have this particular Krennic for this, so it was hard to continue stitching without that. So yeah, I'll start working on this again after I get that. So I know this I will finish by this year. This is Baker's Wife, and this is one of the few that I'm stitching on a 32 count 2/2. This is a regular Zweigarts solid color fabrics in lilac, and this is pretty small, and I feel like I'm about halfway, so I need to do the dress and the background. But I'm really excited about the beading because that's one of my favorite steps, and there's a lot of them in her dress. The background obviously, and her hair is just filled with beads, so really excited about that. So I'm going to bring this out back in September. So this is by Color and Cotton, and it's called Prairie Dust. I think this was one of the fabrics in the fabric clubs. Oh, it says it right there. I want to get back into the clubs, but I can't right now. So this is Cottage Garden Fairy. I think this is one of the more older designs. This is MD63. So yeah, I think that's pretty old. So Baker's Wife is pretty recent, and this is MD166. So yeah. And this is really wrinkled, so I'm really sorry about that, but I really didn't work on this since I started this, but I really like this fabric and the fairy. But I think this would be a nice project to work on in October. I don't know why though. Speaking of October, this I'm definitely going to work on this October, but I need to get a couple of specialty flosses for the skin. I was thinking about converting that to Color and Cotton, but I decided to go with the Calls for Colors. So this is a Picture This Plus fabric in 32 count called Haunted, I think, and I can't find the chart right now. So this is Lilith of Labrador, and this is my first Mirabilia, or I mean Mermaid Mirabilia, I believe, and I just love how dark it is. And I think I said this in the video where I started this, that this mermaid reminds me of the mermaids in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and one of the tasks where he has to go underwater to save Ron. But yeah, I'm going to get the floss to do her skin, and then yeah, but I think this fabric goes really well with the color palette of the design, like this purple and like the dark teal. So yeah, but I haven't decided yet what to do for October. I wanted to do something special like I did with Mania this year, like start a bunch of new projects or like a themed project. I don't know yet. I'm going to think about that. I think this is my last Mira here, but this is Sleeping Beauty. And this was my first Mira that I started on a 40 count, and I loved it. So this is what started my 40 count obsession. So this is color and cotton called Camelot, and this is going to be the full size, and I think this is manageable to frame later on because my fairy idol, I don't know if I'll ever frame that because that one is so big. I might have to start saving money just to frame that, but yeah, Sleeping Beauty. So I think that's all of the mirrors here. So let's do the lavender laces. I only have two. So this is Firefly Fairies. And I'm working on the blue fairy right now, and I'm stitching this in a mirrored image because of the fabric modeling. So you're supposed to bleach the fabric to get this splash of light in the middle, and I didn't really feel like messing with bleach. So instead I'm using this modeling on this fabric. I could have used the other side, but this side had this red streak that was really bothering me, but it didn't show on the other side, so I decided to stitch this on this side. But I stitched backwards so that the fairies are facing towards the modeling, if that makes sense. But yeah, sorry about the wrinkly fabric. It was in my drawer this whole time, so yeah. But this is a Picture This Plus called Da Vinci, Crystal Da Vinci, Belfast Linen, and 32 count. So I'm stitching 2 over 2. So I took a little break and now I'm back, so let's just continue with my lavender and laces. So my next lavender and lace is called Blue Moon Angel. With this I'm stitching on a 32 count, but I'm stitching everything else in 2 over 2 except the skin. I'm stitching skin 1 over 1. So I started her hands and I left her face empty because I didn't really feel like working on that the last time I worked on this. But yeah, this is also really fun to stitch because the fabric is really dark and the colors really pop against it. I don't remember what this is called though, but I'll leave it on the screen if I could find it. But I know it's a Picture This Plus, or yeah, Picture This Plus fabric. So that was my second lavender and lace, and I have a couple more WIPs here, and I'm not really sure what these are. Oh, this is Bliss by Just Nan. I totally forgot about this. So I'll add a picture here of what this looks like finished because I have the chart in the cabinet, and I think I'm about halfway. And this is really fun. Just Nan is one of my favorite designers, and this has a lot of different things other than just cross stitches, like specialty embroidery stitches, and also 1 over 1 stitching, back stitching. So yeah, it's really fun. I really like that, like the variety of stuff in it. So yeah, I'm at the middle, I think, and I think it'll be about this long down to here when I'm finished with this. And this is called Carnival by Picture This Plus 32 count Belfast linen. And I'm using the more peachy side of this fabric instead of this lighter part. But yeah, totally forgot about this one. And this might be one of my oldest WIP, and this is from Cross Stitch Gold magazine, I think. And it's called either Unicorn Hoop or Fantasy Unicorn, but I'll add a picture here of the finished or like the cover of the magazine. But this is really detailed. It has a lot of small backstitching details. Like, look at this castle in the background. It's so tiny, but it has a bunch of backstitching. So this is one of those where backstitching does a lot of the work, adding details. And I think this is a 32 count. I don't think it's a 28 count. It might be, but I don't know. But it's a opalescent white fabric, so I don't know if you could see the sparkles, but yeah, it's been so long, I don't even know if this is a Zweigart fabric or not. But I think this would look really cute finished in a hoop. I think that's why it's called Unicorn Hoop, maybe. Oh, this is one of my monochromatic projects. I have another one, but this is Nightmare by Courtney Collections, and I always forget which side is up. But this is on a color and cotton called Patina, and I'm stitching 1 over 2 with 6 for You silk, and I'm still on page 1, or on my first page of the chart, but this is also one that I could work on in October. I think I will. But this is an image of a metal hat. I'll add the picture here, but I hope I'm not showing you this upside down. I might be. Funnily enough though, for my other monochromatic project, I'm also using a different color Silks for You silk, but I'll show you that one in my next video. It's Life After Death by Long Dog Samplers. And that one I'm stitching on a 32 count 2/2, and long dog samplers are already so big. Yeah, I should have stitched that on a 40 count and made it a little smaller, but yeah, Nightmare by Courtney Collections. It's a very time-consuming project. I think it's because it's monochromatic. I find it hard to gauge where I'm at when I'm working on this, but I really like the fabric and the silk that I'm using, and it looks super creepy and cool, so I like it. Oh, this is also a good October project. I have a lot of Halloween stuff here, don't I? But let me actually look for the chart for this one. Okay, so I don't know where my chart is, but instead I found the bliss. So yeah, I'm right in the middle with this one. I want to get back to this one because the next band is a row of just specialty stitches, and that looks a lot of fun. And then this is Nightmare. So yeah, I think I was showing you the right side up. So yeah, it's really creepy looking, and I think it's perfect. So I couldn't find the chart for this, but this is called Miss Isabel Black, and I'm planning on stitching Sir William Black next to it and have their tails meet in the middle. I think that's going to look really cute. And I wish I could tell you the name of the designer. I think it might be Scattered Seed Samplers, but I can't be sure. But I'll have it on the screen here. Oh, and I actually converted all of the colors to Color and Cotton because I used to be in the Color and Cotton Floss of the Month club, and I just wanted to start using all of them, so I did my own conversion of it, and I'm really happy with my color choices here. And this is Cat Lovers by Jardin Privé, and this is what it looks like. And I'm just noticing how close I am to the edge. I think I might have very little margin on the bottom, but yeah, I think it should be fine. If I run out of space, I'll just move things around and turn it into a rectangle instead of a square. But yeah, with this too, I converted all of the colors to Color and Cotton flosses. Well, I have one classic color works, but yeah, I was really into doing conversions then. And I'm not sure what this fabric is, but I think it's just a regular white 40 count by Zweigart. So we're almost done. I thought this was going to be a real quick video, but it's taking a little longer than I expected. But it's kind of nice seeing all of my WIPs. It's also really fun for me too. So this is Paula Vaughn called Reflections, I think. I'll add a picture here, but I think I'm almost done. I need to do the wallpaper in the background and the floor, I think, some backstitching. But I really like the details in this one, like these French knots I really like, and a lot of backstitching, and also the effects. So everything is 2/2, but the image inside the mirror is half stitches because it's the reflection of the dress, and it gives like a further away effect, if that makes sense. The last one, and this is also an October stitch, Simply Meant to Be by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a story keep size, so it's really long and skinny. So with this, I'm not even close to the halfway point, I don't think, maybe 1/3. But this is really fun to stitch, but just really time consuming. And the back looks like this. Super messy, but I don't really care about the back, so it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, I want to do a couple more of these story keep size, but something dark, so it'll be like a set. And this is on a 32 count even weave, and I'm stitching 1/1. And I think this might be my only even weave project right now. I like to use even weaves for full coverages, and I decided on this color. I think this was called taupe, and I chose this instead of white because I didn't want the fabric showing through the darker colors, and I thought this taupey color would look better or less noticeable if any fabric was showing through the stitches. So that was all of the WIPs that were in this dresser, but let me show you the 3 Mirabilia finishes. Let me just grab the last one. It's on the very bottom. So this was my latest Mira finish, which was about 2 years ago. So this is called English Roses, and this is stitched on a 32 count. So it's really tiny. I think it might be like the smallest Mira, but this was so fun to stitch using these ribbons to make these roses and leaves, and those were really fun, and also beading like these chunky big ones. Those were really fun. Oh, this reminds me, I actually have another Mira finish. It's a Christmas tree, but I don't have that here, so I'll include that in my next WIP video. And this was my second Mira finish called Stone Roses. And this is super long and skinny, so I can't fit everything in this frame here. And even though there was a lot of white stitching, I didn't mind at all. It was really fun. And also stitching these stone roses, because it's called stone roses, I guess. Those were really fun. I really like the blue in this. And this is a printed fabric by Zweigart called Stormy Clouds, I think. So it's just white on the other side, nothing on it. But I thought it went really well with the overall palette of stone roses. And I'm planning on changing these buttons to something brighter with more shimmering finish, but I just didn't yet. I think these are a little bit too grayish. So yeah, this was my second mirror finish, and then this was my first mirror purchase and finish. It's called Fairy Idol, and it's on Heroic by Picture This Plus in 32 count, and it's really big. I'll try to add another video here showing you the whole thing. When I started this, I was really new to Mirabilias and didn't really understand how big this was, so I ended up choosing like one of the biggest Mirabilias. But it was super fun. I was never bored, and I got to try different specialty flosses and beads for the first time. And these aren't called for this, but I added 5 of these teardrop Swarovski beads and AB clear crystals, I think, and I think it looks really good. So those were the 3 mirrors that I finished so far, and I'm hoping to add a 4th one by end of this year with Baker's Wife. But yeah, I guess this is the end of this video. I'm going to make a part 2 of this video showing you all of my other WIPs, so look out for that, and let me know if you have any questions about anything in this video. I'll try to answer them in the comment section or talk about it in my next video. But I did make a video on how I stitch Mirabilias on 40 counts because I get a lot of questions about that, so I'll link that video in the description box. And also, if you were counting how many WIPs I've showed you today, let me know in the comment section as well. So yeah, I guess that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!